Seconds, our pleasure to be joined by for the first time, managed and worked with Fabio Wardley, Issiah Hamilton-Allen. I'm sure I've got that right. Great to speak to you. Great to be introduced to you as well. I heard a little bit about your story. What is the path for yourself? You want to get into the boxing game. What is your plans?
My plan is to I'm obviously now just turned over professional boxing. I had my debut last weekend, so now it's just ready to be active, get out there as many fights as possible, and just keep winning and achieving.
Let's rewind slightly. Fabio and yourself told me that you've had a bit of amateur experience. Some of that has come from the amateurs and from the white collar scene. What have you taken from that going into the pro scene?
Just that, this sport takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and you can't half-ass it. I mean, you have to go in all the way, and that's what I'm prepared to do. I'm prepared to make sacrifices, and me and my team feel like I have potential. I know I have potential, and I'm willing to do everything I can to reach the top.
How did you initially meet Fabio?
So after high school, I finished high school in 2019, and I wanted to pick up a sport again. I used to do combat sports when I was younger, karate and things like that. Got an injury, so I went out throughout high school without any sort of motivation to do anything. And then in my last sort of years in high school, I felt like, I want to do something again. And when I was in karate, I was winning most points with my hands. So, obviously Fab being from Ipswich, he's actually from the same state as me, Chantry. So I knew of Fab, but not properly. So I know he just turned over professional in boxing, and I seen his stuff on Instagram, like he was doing one-to-ones and stuff like that for boxing. So, I hit him up, gave him a message on Instagram. He said, "Yeah, sure, man, come down to Suffolk Punch, which is our gym that we're at." And literally had a couple of sessions with him, and he was like, "You could do something with this," and I believed it too. And then from then on, we just always been together, and he's always pushed me and took me under his wing.
Obviously, the path that Fabio's walked has part of his story has been from the white collar background, and he's certainly proven himself within this sport. I mean, you can't doubt it with what he's achieved and winning the world title. He's walked a path that you have walked as well. Do you think Fabio's seen that, appreciated what you've done, and that's part of why he wants to work with you?
Yeah. I think that is literally one of the biggest reasons. Like, we're both literally from the same area, so I feel like it's nice that he's fought, oh, let me take this kid from the same literally estate as me and bring him up, and it's not even that. I feel like every time I was having the sessions, I was coming back, I was wanting to learn, I was always hungry, and I still am, and I feel like that changed his mind a lot as well. Like, he was like, this kid keeps coming back, he really has got the hunger and desire for it, and, from then on, he was like, he pushed me to do the white collar stuff and pushed me to fight, and I was like, I want to do this. It's great.
How was your debut? You'd be forgiven if you had nerves. Did you get what you wanted out of your debut?
Massively. Obviously, we'd all hope for a knockout, wouldn't we? But we stuck to the game plan. We didn't get too excited with ourselves, and we boxed lovely. I felt like I showed that I could fight on the inside and the outside, and like I've said, in this game you can't be stuck at one style. There's always going to be times where you have to change your style, and I felt like I showed a bit of a mixture on Saturday night.
Now, you can't say Fabio Wardley in this answer, but if you could say styles of fighters that have influenced you into your style, what you've taken, you maybe pinched from, copied from, who would you say you've watched tape of, and who would you say your style most replicates?
I would say Floyd, mate. Obviously, it's hard to get it right, but I've studied and watched Floyd Mayweather so much. He was one of my favorite fighters growing up, and I feel like I picked bits out of all my sort of favorite fighters, but he was the one that I definitely watched a lot, and I like to do a shoulder roll a lot as well.
What do your family think about going this route? If I said to my family when I was growing up, I'm going to be a boxer, my mom would be like, "Oh no, don't do that." But are they supportive of you? Of course they are. But what do they think about you going into this like with your 2 feet forward?
Yeah. I've got a very supportive system at home. Very great. I've got a big family, and they're all super happy, and can't wait to see what I achieve. And I feel like they see how hard I work and how much I sacrifice and how much dedication I have. And someone who wasn't, who didn't like school as much, I didn't feel like I was that academic, or and sports has always been my thing. And now to see that actually growing and taking its toll was, they couldn't be happier. But like you say with the mom, I'm an only boy, so really? I got 3 sisters but a brother. But I grew up with 3 sisters, and I was the only boy in the household. So my mom, She sometimes gets too nervous.
I can imagine. What do you think of today's press conference? Obviously, Daniel Dubois sometimes a little bit quiet, but he said his piece. Fabio was very confident as well too. What do you think about the prospect of Fabio defending his title against Daniel?
It's great. You know, what a way to do it than defend it against Daniel Dubois. You know, we've seen him in there against everybody. You know, AJ, you know, Usyk, and it's great. He's Fab. You know, if anyone knows Fab doesn't care. You know, he wants the big challenges. He wants to fight the best. And I think this is going to be another fight where he just says to everyone, look, you know, I'm here to stay. You know, I'm going to keep going, and you know, hopefully, you know, one day be undisputed himself.
What's he got to do to beat Daniel Dubois?
Sorry, what did you say?
What's he got to do to beat Daniel Dubois?
I think, you know, anything he sort of really wants to do. We've seen with Fab, you know, he can knock anybody out. You know, he's got the power. Like we've seen, 95%, you know, KO ratio. But what a lot of people forget as well, Fab's not just a brawler. He's not just a brawler. His past fights against people like Parker, against Simon Vallily, he's showed that he can tuck up, roll off shots with his shoulder, slip, make him miss, make him pay. And I think that's up to Fab, whether he wants to do that or not. You know, as soon as he chooses to switch it, he can. And I feel like that's all it's going to take.
What's the plan for you for the rest of the year? Have you got another fight scheduled? What do you want out of this year?
So yeah, I'm back out March 28th in Gloucester. So literally now in camp again. But main goal is just to be active. I want to be active. I want to just get as many fights in as possible and just, yeah, show the world what I can do.
Are you training with Fabio? What's your training team like?
Yeah, so obviously whenever I'm at the gym, Fab will be up there. He'll always, you know, if there's anything I need or you know, asking for, he'll be there, give me advice whenever I need it. Sometimes watch our sessions. So his coach is my coach, Robert Hodgins. Couldn't ask for a better coach. His IQ is out of this world. You know, he's got great IQ. But yeah, ideally, you know, whenever they're up there, whenever Fab's up there, he'll give me pointers. And obviously, my coach, you know, I feel like I've got one of the best coaches that I could ask for.
Lovely to speak to you. Love to see you start your journey. Where can people find you on social media to follow you and follow what you do next?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Issiah Hamilton-Allen, and yeah, that's my Instagram.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for speaking to us. Out. Great talker. Looking forward to seeing the ring.
Thank you very much.
Good man. Appreciate it.